Yes.
Okay, done.
Just carry on talking. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Sorry this has taken so long.
Yeah, we've been busy.
Yeah, so Hendrik...
Gone back to work.
Yeah, Hendrik started his job again this week.
Yeah.
And I've got
Been
no
busy.
excuse.
No, we've just been like crazy busy. But it's good to be back. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, by popular demand.
Yeah.
Back.
Let's start off with unpopular opinion.
Okay. So, this is a triggering one.
Okay.
And I'd like to lay a disclaimer down
Yeah.
to all of my friends.
Yeah.
That if you enjoy this, I really do understand. I do get it, because I myself have many shows that I don't enjoy. But Friends is overrated.
Friends is overrated.
Friends is overrated.
I hate it.
And I get it.
That's so savage.
Because I like The Office, and a lot of people don't like The Office. And
Okay.
so
I don't like The Office.
You see, and I'm not offended by that. So, so I don't like Friends that much.
Okay.
I think it's very much like an overhyped thing.
Yeah, I agree. I never really got into it. I've watched a couple of episodes, but
Yeah.
it's just never done it for me.
Yeah, it's like I tried to enjoy
I can
Friends.
feel the trigger happening through.
Oh, I know.
I'm sorry. I'm so
I
sorry.
can see all of the defriending happening, but
Okay, just stick with us. We'll do something good as well.
I respect your opinions.
Yeah.
So respect mine. Okay. What's yours?
Okay, mine's also kind of triggering. My unpopular opinion is that pineapple belongs on pizza.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Can I ask another question in response to
Okay.
Does any fruit belong on pizza?
Not like mangoes or strawberries.
But why is only some fruits acceptable?
'Cause-
Like banana. People like banana on pizza.
Yeah. I don't know. It's maybe like like what are those colors that are like pastel colors? I think banana and pineapple are like the pastel colors of the fruit world, if you can say it like that.
Okay.
So they fit. They like blend in, you know.
So only two fruits out of the many fruits in the world belong on
Cherries
pizza.
also.
Cherries.
Yeah, you put cherries, cherry sauce, whatever. You can put
On
peaches.
pizza.
Peaches.
But like on
definitely.
a savoury pizza or on a sweet pizza?
Oh, savory.
Okay, no, I don't know you. I'm sorry.
I don't know you. No, legit. Like chutney. Chutney is basically peach sauce.
But it's like it's sweet, but it's not.
Also tomatoes.
Also, can we please talk about that's technically a fruit. But can we please talk about the fact that Melba pudding has apricot jam in it?
Yeah. That
My
is-
life has been ruined. I'm devastated. I don't like jam.
Yeah.
And then there's
But you love it.
I love Melba pudding.
Okay. Cool. So now that that's out of the way,
Yeah.
pineapple belongs on pizza and Friends sucks. So. Okay, next, let's carry on.
All of our friends gone. Sorry guys, bye. It was nice knowing you. This week's topic is your questions or common questions, and we're gonna give you
That we've been asked and
our opinion on them.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily an unpopular opinion, it's more of like an opinion or a question and our answer.
Yes. It's like advice, we're trying to help.
Sure. When you can't afford therapy, just watch our videos, it's fine. Hashtag lockdown therapy.
Yeah, that's so funny. How to deal with pressure in general.
Well, I think a good starting point would be to communicate about
Yeah.
what's making you feel like you're under pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that especially if you're in a relationship or whatever setting you're in, you have to absolutely communicate with the other people how you're feeling and what's going on. And not necessarily let it overwhelm you, because pressure can be hectic, overwhelming sometimes, and I think it's very important to just sometimes sit, even just for a minute, and just breathe and focus and
Structure and discipline is two of the things that can really alleviate pressure if you do it correctly. we've been talking about this
that's so
quite a
true.
lot lately, that, you know, it's not about having a choice almost, it's about making the decision like, okay, like today or like for the next month or for the next year, I'm reading 2 chapters a night of whatever book or that kind of thing. It's about just maintaining the discipline to take the pressure off. Like, okay, every Monday I'm going to write down a schedule of the things that I have to get done during the week, and I'll schedule time for things that are not maybe important, and then if anything comes up that I need to do immediately, like learn how to prioritize almost. And I think that'll help.
The more we talk about it, I see it like as in there's 2 things. Like the first side of it is try and alleviate or stop unnecessary pressure. Like we cause so much of our own trouble just by not preparing or procrastinating or something. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Like prepare, get stuff done and get ready, so that, like for a test or for a job or something like that, prepare, get ready for it so that you know what to expect and what to do. And then the pressure won't be that much. And then if the other side of it, that if something like the coronavirus or something like that happens and there's like all of a sudden pressure, obviously there's like in unity you have to be like, you know, get involved with the community, get involved with people around you, get on the same page, communicate, and allow people to just help each other.
I think also adopt healthy and constructive coping mechanisms. Like, I wish I was one of those people, it's like when I'm stressed, let's go work out. I'm not that person.
We're not that. No.
I'm like, let's eat a lot.
And I think like that needs to be managed, because like if you don't, then you know that will also end up just being unhealthy.
How do you handle finance in depth?
Like, okay, as like a couple or as an individual?
I'd say let's do both.
Okay. Firstly, as an individual, I think live below your means, and I think as a couple, live below your means.
It's about prioritizing. I think as well. Like I think finance. It's like 3 things in marriage that always like cause conflict. Is like sex, finance, and like 2 things.
2 things. Religion. Religion is the 3rd one.
True, if you aren't on the same page. So I think to try and kind of navigate as a couple can be quite challenging, but I think it's about dividing the responsibility and taking that as your own. Like for example, we have many streams of income and we divide that according to what's most important, and then like what each person would like to contribute to the family. And I think that's really worked well for us.
100%. No, I think like definitely like you have to prioritize. There's certain things like medical aid that for us is a big thing. Just for the thing, you know, like anything can happen at any moment, and it's good to just have that as preparation. You know, you have to think about the future, and I think that one thing that is overlooked oftentimes is like still going out and having a good time, and when you're strapped for cash, like that could sometimes be a hectic thing, like no, I can't go out, or you know, stuff like this. I think it is good to prioritize and set money aside. Maybe not like extravagantly go jolling, whatever. You know, don't go away for a week, but maybe go away for a night. You know, if you can afford it, or something like that. And the thing is, like, you can always make a plan. I've seen sometimes when it's like tight or something like that, somehow you end up making a plan. Just make a plan. Just set your mind to it and make a plan. You know.
I'd also just add that like basically any conflict can be resolved with communication.
100%.
And I think that's such a big thing to learn, and people kind of underestimate the impact that it can have if you just communicate correctly and communicate out of a place that's not emotional. Because I think that we can get very emotional about finance because it can feel like a very overwhelming thing. Like, oh, you know, we're in debt, like we've got so much money to pay, like how are we going to cope with this? We're going to, you know, lose our house and lose our cars, and you know, I think it's a very overwhelming thing, which is why a lot of people don't know how to handle it. But it's just about being responsible and ultimately communicating about what your desires are with your money, but in a couple and as an individual. Be honest with yourself. If you want to go out every night in the week and don't want to cook for yourself, budget.
Just budget.
It's not
for
healthy, but I mean budget.
Yeah, 100%. You could do it.
Yeah.
Why did you get married?
For fun.
Thought, let's try it.
Seemed like a good idea.
No, I mean, personally for me, I wanted to get married since I was very young.
It's not about me.
Yeah. Well, you only came much later, you know. It was about me. I wanted to get married, and ultimately I still got married because it's something I wanted, and you got married because it's something you wanted. I think if you're marrying someone to please them, that's not a good reason.
No.
I don't think that's going to be good, because at some point you're not going to have the other person's best intentions at heart, whether it be just fighting or different seasons where, you know, whatever, and then you are not going to want to please them anymore, or not want to do it for them, so that they'll get a divorce. Or something, or it just might be, it might cause unnecessary problems.
Yeah.
So you have to do it because you have decided that that's what you want in life.
Well, I think we got married ultimately because that's what we felt that God wanted.
Yes, 100%, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But that's for us.
Yeah.
And it, like, age for me didn't really have a factor.
Yeah.
If I got married at 19 or 40, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
It was something that I always really wanted, was
Yeah.
to have a life partner. And everything that I had done in my life leading up to when we first met was under the impression or influence that I was going to get married eventually to someone.
100%, yeah.
So that was like not a goal, because I feel like it's not like a huge achievement almost. It's like it's something that just always wanted to be a part of my normal life.
Yeah.
How did you refrain from having sex before you got married?
Oh, only Jesus.
And that's the end of that one. Genuinely, No, that's it basically.
Yeah, it was really like we had said it in our hearts long before we even met each other.
Yeah.
That we don't want to have sex before we get married. Simply because the fact that until you're married, you're not married. And you know, this is the one, and yes, we're going to get married, so let's just like have sex, and then, you know, something happens and then you don't get married, and then you find someone else and you're like, yes, this is the one, and you end up having these multiple sexual partners. And there's like, we don't fully understand it, but there's a reason why it says in the Bible to not do it. It has repercussions, and it has it has an effect that's not
always positive.
Yeah, that's not always positive.
I think that it takes a lot of courage to make that decision and to kind of follow through with it. I think a lot of people can be very negative about it, and it is a challenge. You know, cannot. It's not like we both didn't have opportunity before we met, and then also like we had every freedom to do kind of whatever we wanted within our own relationship because we're both adults. So like I would literally say the only thing that got us through was like our own will, plus God.
So the thing is, like, you need to
flee from your youthful lusts.
100%. You don't fight it. Don't fight
flee
it. You just run. run.
I think like it was definitely not in our own strength. But like, it was worth waiting for, 100%, because it's been a different journey and a crazy journey and a wonderful journey. But I think I would have lived with a lot of regret. And I didn't want that, and you didn't want that either. So
cool. Next. Does living together and working from home ever bother you?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, for me as well personally, I think working from home, like, and being married and all in the same environment, is difficult because you don't know when to switch over. Like, am I in work mode? Am I in husband mode? Am I in, you know, like, what are you busy with? What are you doing? And I think that oftentimes you get stuck in work mode until like 8 o'clock at night, or you get stuck in chill mode until halfway through Monday, or, you know, there's like where do you do that? So it does bother me, but I think, again, like what you said earlier, like discipline. Discipline is a forced thing. It's a decision thing. You have to just do it.
I'd say like it's a challenge for me because we have such conflicting jobs. Like, I'm a very creative person, and you obviously don't really have to be. It's more admin and things like that. And so sometimes when I'm trying to be in a creative space and you aren't in that place, but we're still in each other's spaces, it can be very challenging to navigate around one another.
Yeah.
And I think also like when one of us is trying to like, let's say, clean the house or do something around the house and the other one is now busy and cannot help, it can feel personal. Like, oh, how dare you not help me pick up the dog poo because like you're busy working. It's like that work pays for what we live in. Like you have to like start learning perspective 100%. Almost.
Okay, next.
Were you financially secure before you got married?
Yes.
But also no.
No.
Yeah. So like I've previously said quite a few times, I didn't have a job before we got married. I was still in university.
Yeah.
And Hendrik didn't really have a job either, technically.
Yeah.
So we have both started our own companies and worked from
we were
there.
kind of like, because of my involvement in the church and stuff, there's people who have supported me financially and stuff because of being in the ministry. And because I'm still like in the ministry involved and stuff, but being married and things like that, you need to also take a responsibility for yourself.
Yeah.
So we did decide to each start something and make money ourselves. And I think that in a marriage, like especially like if you're deciding to get married, I don't think it's healthy to have another pressure of making finance on your relationship already. Like I think if you can get a job, and here's the thing again, living is not expensive. You can literally go without so much of the rubbish that we think we need in our life.
Yeah.
And you can get married and build a life together. But it is important that you do not live above your means, in the first while of being married.
That being said, like we do live in a very, very nice home, and we live in what we would kind of call our forever home.
Yeah.
And so like we do come from a place where like, we don't have too much of a bond to pay off and that sort of thing. So we are very, very blessed and very lucky in that way. Whereas I think a lot of people don't really have that kind of, situation.
Yeah.
But I think I would suggest being financially secure before you get married.
Yeah.
Like we obviously weren't exactly, but like we've got like a really amazing like blessing in our lives.
We've got support structure and a lot of people who just who believe in us and we're going to do it.
I think both of our businesses are also like definitely 10 out of 10 are like so filled with God.
We're really thankful for the fact that we could start a business within a year we can draw salaries from it and we can live life and stuff like that. That's been pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Did you feel pressure from others to get married?
No.
No. I think this is something that we experienced that was not normal. The norm would be that you feel pressure to get married.
Yeah, I think especially when you've been dating for a significant amount of time, in the Christian community, there can be this overwhelming sense of you need to get married now. But we didn't have that at all.
Yeah, no, we had exactly the opposite. We wanted to get married. I had the ring made within 3 months of us dating, and like we wanted to get married before we even started dating.
You.
Yeah, me. I put a lot of pressure on that. But the thing is,
you put pressure on.
I did unnecessarily. But like the thing is, like I wanted to get married, and we were both wanting to get married, and just situation and people around us and stuff like that. We were encouraged to not get married that early. Which, in retrospect, I understand there were benefits from it, but I think we would have been fine if we gotten married earlier.
I think for me it really helped having that time to finish my degree and not have to worry about married life. Not saying that you can't do both at the same time, but I think it can put a lot of pressure on people to try and do both at the same time. But in terms of like feeling pressure to get married, the only person who pressured me was you. And it's not a bad thing. It was like, I was thinking like after 3 years we get married, and we did after 3 years. But it was ahead of my timeline. And that's fine. We readjusted, we worked it out, and it worked out perfectly. It's not that I didn't want to get married, I just wanted more time to like learn who you are and that kind of thing. But it worked out.
I think people who are normally being pressured to get married, like if you've been dating for like 3 years and you're still not even like thinking of being engaged, like you should know by now. When I was looking for someone to get married to, like the idea of like, but what if I want to travel? You know, that's going to cause issues. Or what if, you know, my work doesn't allow me? Every time I was faced with something like that, it was just automatically like, well, we'll work through it. You know, we'll overcome it. Like whatever, we'll do it together. And I think that should be the attitude that you have. Like if you want to travel, like the other person will go with, or travel later in life. You know?
Like for me, it definitely boils down to priorities. If you cannot handle more than one priority at a time, then like, wait. Like, but ultimately, if you stay in that relationship and you don't commit fully, you will still have the responsibility of that relationship, whether you're married or not.
100%.
I think people are just very scared of commitment.
Yeah. The next one.
How do you manage your own personal relationship with Jesus outside of a relationship?
I think it's been a journey for me, at least. I think, well, for you obviously as well.
Well, I'd say we've got very different styles.
Yes.
That's how I would.
Different relationships.
Different kinds of relationships, but it's very much based on our personalities.
Yes.
I'm much more subdued, more in tune with myself. Not like you aren't in tune with yourself, but you're a much more expressive, outward person, and I'm a much more
introverted person.
Not really introverted, but I'm much more introverted than you.
Yes.
About half, to be exact. So my relationship with Jesus is much more quiet than yours, I would say. So when we're in a spiritual place together, we can sometimes conflict with attitudes a lot. But like, I'd say
I think I let my excitement sometimes get better of me. But I think that, like, for me, you know, going into a relationship, there was definitely I wouldn't say a dip, but there was like, I didn't naturally spend as much time working on my relationship with Jesus as much as I did, you know, before I even met you. Because when you're single and that's the focus, then you direct all time at that. But now there's another focus that's equally important, and you like, okay, well, Jesus wants me to be in a relationship, and or that's what I believe, and so now I need to focus on this, but I need to focus on him and whatever, and it's okay, just let it happen. I think it's important to have non-negotiables, to just like read one chapter of the Bible a day, pray for 5 minutes, you know, just keep having that in your life, fast once a month. You know, it's a good thing to have. It's a good, you know, you have to work at it by yourself, and then also in that meet each other where you guys do have common ground in a relation, you know, in your faith and stuff like that.
I would say that we like, we don't fit the ideal standard of what like you would want out of a couple who loves Jesus, because
I think what I want to like just say, like I think you're going to say similar, is that it's really okay to not always think the same and feel the same and be the same and stuff like that.
Spiritual things.
100%.
We're
like
not
as long as Jesus is king, and you both believe that, that's fine.
That's the most important.
Like deal with the rest of the stuff, but don't force your idea on someone else, or don't be offended if someone doesn't feel the same way that you do.
Also, don't be offended if someone doesn't practice the same way as you do.
100%.
This is like a common theme amongst Christians, that we criticize one another for not praying out loud, or, you know, doing things the way that is traditionally correct, or what is communally accepted. Like, do your own thing.
100%.
As long as you have a relationship with God, that's all that matters.
100%. I used to, fire-breathing, tongue-talking son of God. That was like me. And the thing is, like, I used to condemn people, or like look down on people who weren't like as on fire as me. And the thing is, like, that's so wrong. Like, God had to like mature me, you know, like a good steak. Cheese also, good mature. And now the flavor is so much better. But the thing is, like, you cannot. It's a very immature thing to judge people on your relationship. Like, you know, if I look at our relationship so many times, Amy has done it and I've done it. When we look at another couple and I say, if you ever spoke to me like that, it would never work. I'd kill you. And then she'd say the same thing. And like, that's jokingly. But we do that with our relationship with Jesus as well. And I go, if you don't pray like I pray, then I'm going to have an issue. or if you don't read the Bible as much as I read, or as little as I read, or whatever, then I'm going to have an issue. And that's so immature, guys. Come on.
We're also probably the most uncompetitive people ever.
No, we're not.
We are, in general.
In general, yeah. I mean, like, we don't really... we're not like super competitive.
Listen,
and
I
stuff
cannot
like
play
that.
contact sport. I'm not competitive.
Yeah, but the second I say I'm going to run a 5K, then you must go run a 5K. So... and you must do it quicker than me.
Everyone knows I cannot run a 5K.
Whatever, she did it.
I didn't run it.
Well, we ran, whatever. We tried to see how quick we could do 5 kilometers. I just wanted to do it for fun, and then she was like, I'm also going to do it. And
I've been
yeah. So anyway.
by 8 seconds. Exactly.
Not competitive.
Okay, but we're not generally competitive people, so I can imagine in a competitive environment that it would be much more difficult.
Yes, yeah. Also, I think like in a like an insecure environment as well. Like if the other person, I don't know, feels that they hear from God, and like you might not feel or have the same experience as them, that might be, intimidating. Or that person prays so much more. Who am I? And the thing is, like, that is not what it's based on. It's not based on what your works. It's based on your personal relationship with
your heart.
and your heart.
Yeah.
Behind it. Yeah. Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Sorry this took so long again.
Yeah,
it's my
it's such
fault.
a...
Actually, it's this banana's fault, and do you know why? Because this banana did not focus the camera last time. So our entire last podcast is blurred.
Yeah, it was such bad quality, so we couldn't do it.
I could not. I got halfway through editing and I said I can't. Let's just scrap it.
Yeah. But anyway, so hopefully this one is actually recorded correctly and is not blurred. And yeah.
Yeah.
So cool, guys. Thanks very much for watching.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel, like it, and we'll see you in the next one.
Okay. Bye.
Cheers. Yes.
Okay, done. I'm so tired. Why are you looking at me?
I'm listening to your answer. Just carry on talking.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Okay.
It's funny, but we're listening. There's something in my eye. That's my finger.